My name is Keith Banfield. I'm a martial arts master instructor and examiner here in London, England. The martial art that I teach and study is called Kwang-Do. It's important to note that the Kwang-Do techniques are based on a principle known as cross-lateral or contralateral movements. Simply put, cross-lateral movements ensures that the whole brain is activated or switched on. This is important as it promotes whole brain learning and balanced brain functionality. Now, the gross and fine motor skill techniques practiced in Kwang-Do directly affect the prefrontal lobe and the creation of neurons in this area, facilitating the communication process. In actual fact, researchers have found a link between good academic performance and a greater density of neurons in the frontal lobes. So just by practicing your Kwang-Do techniques, you are greatly enhancing your communication skills. So on page 19 of Spark, Paul Zantarsky makes a really profound statement. He says, in our department, we create brain cells. It's up to the other teachers to fill them. And having read that statement, it really made a profound impact on myself, being a martial artist and also caring deeply about education. For the silent sitting exercise, I would ask the students to sit down on the floor with their legs crossed, back straight and eyes closed. They would sit in silence for the duration of about a minute, and simply they would listen to the sound that their breath made as they inhaled and exhaled. I cannot stress how important this exercise was to the overall well-being of the students.
The silent sitting exercise did help me a lot. It helped me to calm my nerves. So by practicing it every day, it helped not only when it came to my schoolwork, but also my everyday life. I was able to relax myself, which helped a lot, especially during test time because I was really anxious before.
Peaceful, relaxed. When I do silent sitting exercise, I feel calm and I'm ready to take on the exam.
After the silent sitting exercise, the students were guided through a series of simple warm-up exercises. They were then taken through the basic gross and fine motor skill techniques of Kwang-Do. Movements such as blocks, punches and kicks, and combinations of techniques were taught to the students, both stationary as well as moving. This gave the students a good aerobic workout.
Well, obviously during the training you feel a bit tired, but the thing is that because you've done the exercise, your brain is a bit more active and it's turned on, so you can concentrate more on your lessons. It makes me feel a lot smarter.
It's quite demanding physically, but I do believe that it has helped me and that it's worth all the practical activeness. It helps my health and also helped me control my emotions and how I'm feeling. So overall, it's a benefit.
We would then have a group discussion, and typical discussion areas were along the lines of what is the goal of a martial artist and how could you stop a fight before it begins. The idea of the discussion was not for me to give the students the answers, but more to draw out the answers from the students themselves. So towards the end part of the class, the students would work together in pairs and they would perform equipment drills, such as shield attack, which were short explosive movements of punching and kicking on a large shield. This further reinforced their gross motor skill development as well as providing a good cardiovascular workout. Another equipment drill was punching on the focus mids, and this reinforced their fine motor skill development as well as hand and eye coordination.
I can write a little bit faster.
You're writing faster now?
I can think a little bit faster.
And you're thinking faster?
Yes, sir.
And you think that's all because you've been studying Kwang-Do?
Yes, sir.
So our class also included defense drills, which are simple partner type drills, whereby one person assumes the role of an attacker and the other person has to defend themselves. These types of control drills creates healthy stresses for the students, which is important for the development of stress inoculation, which teaches the brain and the body how to function efficiently under stressful conditions, say like examinations.
It's increased my concentration levels, it increased my memory levels and things like that. Because before, I always used to think that I can't do tests, but I can always do well in classwork. I always used to think that tests were my weak point. Yes. But now that I know I can concentrate and I know that I have a better memory and I know what to do in my tests and I can concentrate a lot better. So I feel like I'm more confident during my tests and therefore hopefully I get better grades. The
students were also set a weekly homework where they were asked to express their views on a question. A typical question was, it is said the end of education is character. Explain why having good character is the most important attribute an individual can possess. The students also kept a weekly journal of how they felt they were progressing in their martial arts educare program, and once every 6 weeks the students had a physical and mental examination of what they were taught in their martial arts educare classes, and if they were successful in completing this test they were awarded their next belt rank level.
I got the certificate of yellow belt which I want to present in the camera. That's all.
Okay, and how do you feel achieving your yellow belt certificate?
It's very good. I worked very hard to come all this way.
The results of the study proved to be really interesting. During the spring term of the study, the students were tested by their school in several subjects, which included maths, English and science. At the end of the 17-week study, the summer term, they were again tested by the school, and I decided to use these 3 subjects to evaluate their academic performance, as these 3 subjects were common to all students involved in the study. We found that all students jumped by 1 whole grade level in English. The prefrontal lobes control specific muscles over the body, and it's responsible for the translation of thoughts into speech and also the development of inner speech, and this explains why the students' test scores jumped in English by 1 whole grade level.
I have been teaching Pratik English from year 10 and this is now the fresh start, the year 11. And to my surprise, Pratik has got the highest marks in the class. So yes, there has been a phenomenal change, a positive change, yes, in him in the last 6 months, yes.
I would say thank you to the teachers, and I always work hard in class, and my behaviour has changed a little bit.
I think you definitely see progression over the first year of GCSEs normally, but his written work seems to have been moved. His first piece of work was on an E grade, and now he's producing written work of a C grade. You can definitely see he's progressed over the grade boundary as well this year.
In class, I put my hand up more and I learned more.
So when we look at the test scores for maths, we found that 3 out of 4 students maintained their current grade. 2 students scored a grade A and 1 student scored a grade B. What was interesting to note is that for the student who scored a grade B, his effort in this subject as scored by his class teacher actually improved over the period of the study. When we looked at the students' double science test scores, they somewhat resembled the results they attained in maths. When we looked at how our martial arts educare program affected the character of our students, some positive changes were observed. Dr. Leslie Dunn, who is a specialist in the field of character education and behaviour, found that the students tended to be very hard on themselves in terms of their behaviour, but they were very honest. The students' teachers also noticed positive changes in the students' behaviour and attitude.
Whereas Janet wasn't a bad student per se, I was actually surprised when he signed up for the martial arts. But from that time onwards, he's developed this tremendous confidence. He approaches teachers asking questions where he doesn't understand. He's actually becoming very helpful in different activities, volunteering to serve and to work with other colleagues. So in terms of his team spirit, he's also gone a step further. And I hope it actually continues that way. I'm not so sure that the scheme is ending, but whatever path he's on, it's definitely the right path.
He's happy to put his hand up and share his ideas. Almost as if he's lost the nerves at the beginning of the year.
Kwang-Do has helped me in various ways. It might change your life, it might not, but it might help you as well.
I have seen lots of changes in Pratik. He usually used to sit down and doing nothing, but now he's very enthusiastic and helping out and taking part in everything.
To a certain extent, yes, I feel that he focuses well, and it's quite evident from the amount of work that he's doing in the class, so I'm quite happy about it.
When they give me a job, I always try my best to do it and never give up.
Layla's become a lot more confident, and over the last couple of months I've definitely seen her being more outspoken, being committed and dedicated to her work, absolutely.
If you know that you've got that goal, that you have to aim for it and you have to work hard for it, and because if you don't, then it's not going to get you far. You have to work for what you want.
I've noticed within this year he seemed to have come out of himself a bit. He was always a pleasant, cooperative student, but he seems to mingle a bit more with other students. He seemed to have a bit more self-confidence, when he's interacting with other students?
I made a lot more friends that I didn't know in the previous year, and so that means that like I've become more reliable towards them, so like they can rely on me and I can be like more of a friend to them. Gained a lot more friends who are girls now.
Sure. So Taekwondo's helped you become more popular with the girls then?
Yeah. I'm glad that I was able to participate in this study, and that although I'm the only girl, I feel that everyone was missing out, because I do believe it has helped me, and if other people would consider doing it, I would definitely recommend it.
I would say that this needs to be kind of introduced to more and more schools to just promote a healthy lifestyle for all students.
When Kwang-Do and the Satisai Education in Human Values program is taught together, as in our martial arts educare program, you are guaranteed to find an individual who will be fit for life and not just for earning a living.